What's up everyone, welcome to my channel. Today's project, do a oil change on XB12S 2004 Buell and a primary oil change. So your oil sump that is here, and that's your dipstick over there, and the drain plug is over here. It's gonna be a bit of a mission to do it, but it's not too hard. You don't have to drop it. I'll show you how to do it without dropping it. And this is your primary chain, primary cover, and your primary drain plug is over here, and you fill it through here. So all this takes is one US quartz, or in other words 946 milliliters. Your filter sits here. You have to undo this, and then only you can get to the filter. It's not too hard. It's 3 bolts on here. That's Torx bolts. I believe that's T30 or T27. There's 3 on here, and there's 3 on the other side. So let's get to it. First of all, I like to have the bike warm and ready. I've already run this bike to a considerable amount of until it gets hot. So just remaining is to drop the oil and do the service. I'm gonna start with undoing the dipstick. I'm gonna open that and let it sit out. And your drain bolt, that's a 5/8. So for those who are doing only have metric tools, this would be equivalent to a 16 millimeter or a 15 millimeter, but I'm inclined to think it's a 16 mil. It's not an easy place to get to, but once it's loose enough, don't take it out all the way. You don't want oil dropping onto the top of your exhaust. So since it's situated right on top of the exhaust, I'm gonna use a bit of aluminum foil, make it sort of a funnel, not a funnel per se, just so that the oil can drain down onto the oil pan rather than going all over your exhaust. Makes it much less messy and a cleaner job. And there you go, the oil is draining into your oil pan. While it's draining, I'm gonna take off these covers so that I can access the oil filter. Now there's a o-ring around here on this bolt. I suggest you replace that whenever you can, at least every 2 services. That's what my recommendation is. So I'll drop this cover. All of these bolts are T27 Torx bolts, so sort of makes your life easier. You don't have to go looking for different tools. Everything is T27. There's a looking hole through here, so that's gonna be easier. Where you can fill up your oil. You don't have to open up all of these. There's a gasket behind it like this. Use a screwdriver to get it out. I'm currently letting it drain. Once it finishes drain, I'm gonna put the bolts, drain bolts back in, and then go drain the oil filter. Once everything has finished draining, time for you to put your drain bolts in. Put new O-rings in, clean the threads a bit. Don't misplace your drain bolts. Like, don't put the drain bolts that goes into the primary cover into your oil sump and vice versa. When you're tightening this, don't over tighten this. They've got an O-ring as well, keep that in mind, and go tight as much as the bolt allows you. Don't put too much force into it. Now it's at its point. I'm gonna give it a bit of a push, and there, it's seated properly. If you end up giving too much force, it's gonna end up stripping the thread or getting stuck in there, and that's a job you don't want to happen. The way the oil filter is located, you're gonna need a foil or some kind of a drain helper underneath here too. And I'm gonna use an oil wrench like this. It goes around the oil filter, clamps onto it by itself, and turns it. Makes your life easier. So the oil filter that goes on here is a high flow 177, or if it's a K&N, that's a K&N 177. And let that drain for a bit as well. After that, you're on the home run and ready to fill up with the oil. Filter section has finished draining. Time to put the filter on. I'm just gonna tighten it as much as my hand allows me to, and go about a quarter turn with the oil filter wrench. Don't need tightening it more than that. Also, there's always o-ring around this filter as well. Make sure you get that o-ring down as well. You don't want that stuck in there and then putting the new one on top of it. That's gonna end up leaking oil. And that's done. You don't need it tightened more than that. Time to put oil in. Now this is the oil that I'm gonna put. Motul 20W50. This is specifically made for V-twin motorcycles. Motul says it's graded for primary chain case as well, so I'm gonna use the same oil to go in the primary chain case, and I've used this earlier. I haven't had any issues, so I'm gonna keep doing that. And that's about 950 milliliters on here, well 946 milliliters to be exact, and then about close to 3 liters on the oil pan. But I would suggest put some oil in it. Check with the dipstick, because there's always gonna be some kind of residue in the engine and the oil sump, so you don't want to overfill it. So I added about 2 ounces to the filter. You're supposed to add 4 ounces, but I just added 2. Makes your life easier by not making it spill. So 2 plus 2.7, a total of 2.9 quarts should be going into the bike, which is about 2.8 liters. So I'll put that amount. I haven't run the bike yet, so this should be slightly low because the extra oil is in here. So check that. If it's up to the level, start the bike, let it run, and check your levels again. Yep, it's pretty much at that level. So it's pretty much up to that level. Once it runs up, this should go down to correct level. Just remember, there's 3 levels, as one level says add oil, and the other says to how much in between full and low. So that's it, folks. That's how you do a oil change on a Buell XB12S for a 2004 model, and primary chain or primary cover oil change as well. So your primary cover includes your clutch and your transmission and such. If this video was useful, like my video and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.